Hello everyone. In today's lecture we are going to start next topic from pathology is gangrene. But before going to start I want to tell you degeneration, necrosis and gangrene. These three are the retrogressive changes in sequence wise. First in cell we show degeneration. If the degeneration is not treated at the time then shows necrosis, and if the necrosis is reaches to gangrene stage, organ is naturally casted off. The surgical removal is only remedy for the gangrene. So retrogressive changes treated at the time, it is one of the solution for the remedy, or it is the best remedy to treated at the time. Then but what is a gangrene? Gangrene is defined as a massive necrotic death of cell which is superadded by putrefaction. In this definition, word massive necrotic indicates the large amount of cellular damage which is rarely seen in necrosis. In necrosis, the cell death is occur, but here the large amount of cellular damage is seen. Then due to the destruction of large amount of cell from one or more sites, dead tissue get exposed to external environment and foreign pathogen can enter into the tissue causing further degradation called as a putrefaction. Then in gangrene, due to the massive cellular death, that is either surgical removal of the organ is the naturally casted off. The surgical removal of organ naturally casted off means it naturally casted. In case of the leprosy, the organ is naturally casted off, but in gangrene the surgical removal is most important. Gangrene means the massive necrotic death of cell which superadded by putrefaction. Here is the example of the senile gangrene. The gangrene is mostly occur in the extremities. Then causes of gangrene, many causes of gangrene like the arrest of circulation. Arrest of circulation means the anything that produce obstruction in blood flow, mostly local in nature, produces gangrene that tissue or organ. Then first arrest of circulation is a severance of blood flow. Severance of blood flow, it is a major blood vessels of organ is largely damaged. If the major blood vessels is largely damaged, then the rest of the part of organ remains without blood supply and cell dies and develop gangrene because of the improper supply of the blood, improper supply of the nutrients. This is the cause of the gangrene, severance of blood vessels. Next one is a spasm. But what is a spasm? Spasm means sudden involuntary muscles contraction. Here is a example of the normal vessels and vasospasm. Here is a compression of blood vessels, but sudden compression. So it is known as a spasm. Spasm are the forced contraction of involuntary type occurring in contractile structure. Wall of blood vessels show presence of smooth muscle. Those undergo spasm contraction when subjected to action, and the chemicals or the toxins. These are the spasm is also cause of gangrene. And trauma. Trauma is another cause. Trauma or mechanical pressure is the another cause of the gangrene. Wound that are the traumatic such as a gunshot wound or crushing injuries from car crashes can causes bacteria to invade tissue deep within the body, and when such tissue can infected due to this the bacteria or pathogen, then gangrene can occur because due to the trauma. Then lack of blood supply. Lack of blood supply is the another cause of the gangrene because your blood provide oxygen nutrients to feed your cells. If the immune system components such as antibodies to ward off infection, without a proper blood supply cell can't survive and tissue is decays, and the lack of blood supply is the major cause of the gangrene. Then another cause of gangrene is infection. Infection means if bacteria thrives unchecked for long, infection can take over, cause your tissue to die, causing gangrene. For example, pathogen called Clostridium welchi causes gas gangrene. Many types of gangrene we will discuss in next lecture, but the one example is here, pathogen called Clostridium welchi causes gas gangrene. Next is the symptoms of gangrene. But how to doctor detect the gangrene is occur in your skin or in your organ? When the gangrene affects your skin, signs and symptoms may include skin discoloration. Skin discoloration ranging from color pale to blue, purple, black, bronze or red. Depending on the type of gangrene you have, the skin discoloration occur. Then swelling or the formation of blister filled with fluid on the skin. Then sudden severe pain followed by a feeling of numbness. Then thin shiny skin or skin without hair, it is also symptoms of gangrene. Then skin that feels cool or cold to the touch is also one of the symptom of gangrene. Then if you have a type of gangrene that affect tissue, first upon we see the if affect your skin, and here if affect your tissue beneath the surface of your skin, such as a gas gangrene or internal gangrene, you may have noticed that the affected tissue is swollen and the very painful, and you are running low grade fever and generally feel unwell. This is the symptoms of the if gangrene is beneath surface of your skin. Then another condition is called a septic shock can occur if a bacterial infection that originated in the gangrenous tissue spread through your body. Means that if you have a bacterial infection, there are many symptoms like low blood pressure, fever, then rapid heart rate, then shortness of breath, confusion, and the temperature also run lower than the normal, means 37 Celsius in Faraday is 98.6 Faraday, means temperature is low down. This is the symptoms if you have a bacterial infection, means according to the type of infections the symptoms are changed. But risk factor, many risk factors like diabetic patients have a risk factor of gangrene, because if you have diabetes your body doesn't produce enough of the hormones like insulin which helps your cells take up blood from sugar, or it is a resistant to the effect of insulin. High blood sugar level can eventually damage blood vessels and decreasing or interrupting the blood flow to a part of your body, and this is the main cause of the gangrene, and the diabetes indirectly cause of the gangrene. Then so diabetic patients have a risk of gangrene. But next risk factor is also blood vessel disease, because hardness and the narrowed arteries, means in atherosclerosis case the blood clots also can block blood flow to an area of your body, and because of this clots formation of gangrene takes place. Then another risk factor is a severe injury or surgery. Severe injury and surgery, any process that causes trauma to your skin, underlying tissue including an injury or frostbite, so it increase your risk for developing gangrene. Then another cause is smoking. People who smoke have a higher risk of gangrene. Then another risk factor is obesity. Obesity often accompanies the diabetes and vascular diseases, but the stress of extra weight alone can also compress arteries. Because of the obesity, the fat bodies are compress the arteries, and it leading to the reduced blood flow and increasing your risk of infection and poor wound healing. Wound healing process require many fibers, WBCs, and if the blood flow is reduced, then the infection of poor wound healing is takes place. Then next risk factor is immunosuppression. If you have an infection with the immunodeficiency virus like HIV, or if you are undergoing a chemotherapy or radiation therapy, your body's ability to fight off the infection is impaired, or the body cannot fight with the any infection because the cells are very sensitive to the chemotherapy. In chemotherapy, infected cells are died, but along with infected cells, some normal cells are also died because these medicines are not target origin oriented medicines. So this is the risk factor of the gangrene. Then another risk factor is the medication of drug that are injected. In rare instance, certain medication and illegal drugs that are injected have been shown to cause infection with bacteria that causes gangrene. These are the risk factor for the gangrene. Prevention is better than cure. So care for your diabetes is most important. If you have diabetes, make sure you examine your hand and feet daily for cuts, because cuts are not early repair in diabetic condition. So source and signs of infection such as redness, swelling or drainage must be seen every day, and ask your doctor to examine your hand and feet at least once a year, and try to maintain control over your blood sugar level because bacteria love glucose. So maintain your blood sugar level. Then for obesity, loss weight is most important because excess pounds not only put you at a risk of diabetes but also place a pressure on your arteries, then constricting blood flow and putting you at a risk of infection, and slow wound healing is due to the obesity. Then don't use tobacco. The chronic use of tobacco produce can damage to your blood vessels. This is the also prevention. Then help the prevent infection. Wash any open wounds with a mild soap and water. Try to keep them clean and dry until they heal. So prevention to help to prevent infection is most important. Then watch out when the temperature drops. So frostbitten skin can lead to gangrene because frostbite reduce blood circulation in affected area. If you notice that the any area of your skin become pale or hard or cold, so it call to your doctor, because the cold temperature or the pale color means the reduction of blood supply. So call to your doctor and take a advice from your doctor. This is the preventive measures, because prevention is always better than the cure. So today we finished the definition of gangrene and its causes of gangrene and the many risk factors, symptoms. Prevention of gangrene is most important. In today's lecture we finish this the definition and causes of gangrene. In tomorrow's lecture we will start the types of gangrene. Your syllabus have only 3 types of gangrene, but gangrene have many types. So in we will study the types of gangrene in next lecture. So today I stop here. Thank you.